All right, it's your boy, comedian Edwin Douglas, and you're on your Mike and Soul Radio Talk Show. We have a great episode tonight, tomorrow, and always forever on demand. And for those who've been following us, you know we're on iheart-radio, Spotify, Spreaker. Yes, we are across the social media outlet as well, YouTube, and of course, email, text. You got it, because once again, we will always be on demand. And now, before I bring in my special guest, let me bring in my DJ sidekick, Uncle Ben. And with our special guest co-host, once upon a time he was the co-host when we were on You Heard Me First Radio Talk Show. Welcome back on this episode, the one and only, the Boudin Man. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, glad to be back on the show, Brother Douglas. And hello, Mr. Gary Pratt.
Okay.
Hey,
all right.
Hello there.
Well, let me give him a warm welcome. Uncle Ben, see, Boudin, that's why you got fired, because you went before Mr. Douglas. You're lucky you're back on Uncle Ben. All right, guys. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give a warm welcome to an energetic country entertainer all the way from Pennsylvania. How about this town here, originally from Slickville, Pennsylvania? He's a singer and a songwriter. Please welcome to Your Mike and Soul Radio Talk Show, Mr. Gary Pratt. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you for taking the time and letting me be on the show. I appreciate it.
Yes, we have a great working relationship with Michael. He does a wonderful job organizing things and putting things together for you guys. And I will always keep Michael, and he's a wonderful and very organized young man. That I will always.
He's doing a great job. He's more organized than me. Sometimes I have to say, hey, Michael, do I have an interview tonight or not? But he probably gets tired of me asking him, but he keeps me in line for sure.
Yes, he's a wonderful businessman. And I enjoy working with him. Let's do this. I was very impressed with your bio and the press kit and the name, the town, Slickville, Pennsylvania. How y'all get away with that, man? That's a cool city, cool town to name.
Slickville. You talking about Slickville?
Yes.
You know what? I don't know how it got its name, but it's a small little coal mining town. It's like 40 miles east of Pittsburgh, and it's very small. I mean, in its day, it probably had like 10 bars and 10 churches, but it's not. It's so small. But I don't know how it got its name, but people remember that. And where you from, Slickville? They remember where you're from. But I mean, it's such a small town. It's not even. It's an old coal mining village,
Right.
But I don't know how. But I tell you, we do have some sleigh dumps there. And in Hollywood, they have the big Hollywood sign up on the hill.
Yes.
Well, on the top of the hill of the sleigh dumps, we have Slickville. So
wow.
You're there.
Okay. Cool. So let's rewind your life. Let's hit that rewind button all the way. Let's say junior high. Did you see yourself being a country music artist or a music artist? Just tell us what was going through your mind then.
Yeah. Okay. I was already in the music and doing shows when I was 15, 16. I had my own band. I had a couple bands actually through those years. Most all the guys in the band were older, like 21 and older, and here I was this kid, and I had a we did our 4-hour shows or 3-hour shows, at some of these clubs. My parents, of course, they had to go, and, we had to pack up my PA system that they bought me and everything, and we would pack it up and go to these, clubs and play almost every weekend. So, that was my weekends, when I was a teenager. I didn't go out, with field parties and stuff like some of the other teenagers, because I was out, doing what I loved, singing country music. And I remember, I always tell this story, but there was one club that I played every month, and they would not let me be in the bar during my breaks. They actually sent me outside. And it was like, this don't make no sense, because, you're sending a 15, 16-year-old kid outside in the dark, But my parents were always there. But, I went through high school with different bands. I was also, in the choir and the chorus and the ensemble stuff, and did, the musical stuff there in high school. But, I would always make sure I was watching the CMAs or, any kind of award shows that were on, and hoping one day I would be there, or at least have one of my songs, done by one of the, great artists. So I've always known this. I've always known it from before I was a teenager. But, I sang a lot. So that sort of takes you back a little bit. I went to college and, of course, had bands then. I sort of got in some rock bands when I was in college, but I really wasn't happy with them. And because my heart's in country music, but I wanted to try it, and I had a good gig with a band called CC and Company for like 5 years, and we played a lot of the dance stuff and that kind of thing. But my heart was always country, and so after college, I moved down to Nashville and traveled back and forth to Nashville a lot, and played a lot of the clubs down there, and opened for the CMAs, and did a lot of things down there. But it was a little discouraging, and I came back home after being there, and it was discouraging because everybody's there doing the same thing. Everybody's good. Wow. And, it's your luck, and so I sort of gave it up for a while, and wasn't happy because I sort of lost part of me. That's part of my being.
I can relate to that. What you said, that you always liked country, you grew up in it, and then when you went to college, you tried to rock and other music. And sometimes we have to go as entertainers. Like when I first started doing comedy, I was trying to find myself. Should I stay clean? Should I use profane? And then there was quite a few comedians that I looked at. I didn't look up to them, but I was trying to learn and study so I can know where I fit in, where I can fit in, and I'm just trying to learn. And so I can relate to exactly what you said. And then, like you said, when you finally felt good playing country music, and that's just the way it goes.
I didn't know I was trying it out, but I guess I was trying them. I even did a 1940s band, but I was just trying it out, I guess, but like I said, I wasn't happy. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go ahead, Boudin.
How much money you was making back in those days when you was 15 years old?
Not much. I would say maybe, I don't know, maybe $60, $70 a night. I mean, it wasn't the greatest, but us musicians are sort of, and I'm speaking probably for all of us. When we start out and we're doing things, money's not it's not. It doesn't really matter. We're out there doing music, and that's more important than money. We just sort of do it because we love it.
Right. But that was good money back in those days.
It probably was. I don't know.
Well, Boudin, a lot of times, like Gary is saying, that the money wasn't important because with me, I can speak for myself, I was more focused on trying to build a brand, okay? And And I knew overnight that now some guys happen to be at the right place at the right time and become a star overnight, okay? But you can't follow the other person. You have to be patient, find out what you're supposed to be doing, find out what market you want to target. And if you learn the business first, then you will become a better, your focus will become better because you know what you need to do to improve, and I tell everybody, learn the business first.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you might not even know you're doing it, learning what you should know. But I believe God puts things in your life in a certain way that He wants it, and that's why things come easier to other people. Maybe they're ready to be this, superstar or whatever. Back in that day, I wanted it, but you know what? I wasn't ready. Ready, and so you do learn. You have to learn it all, not just the business side, but just even talking to people and being true to people. That's what I believe.
There you go. It's all about being true, and you have to be very careful because if you want people or your fans to continue to support you and follow you, you have to learn how to separate business and personal. Okay, and you got to step out on faith, and like you said, you guys will travel and get yourself booked. But the most important thing is you want to love it, you want to enjoy it, and let it be a part of you at all times.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So with that being said, Gary, I love to ask all musicians this question here. Have you ever had any thongs or panties thrown at you while you performing in your lifetime?
Panties?
Yeah, panties or bras or thongs,
Wait, what was that again? If I got any panties?
Panty, bra, anything off of woman clothes.
I thought you asked me if I ever got panties. Yeah, I do before every show. But I'll tell you this story, and I don't think too many people know this, and I don't even know what the girl's name was, but she probably remembers. But honestly, I guess my band was pretty popular in the area, but I mean, I had a knock at the door. I wasn't even on stage, and I opened up the door, and there's a girl standing there with no clothes on. I mean, so yeah. So I mean, I have had some of those experiences. I had playing in those, like when I was a teenager. I mean, I had one lady. She's like, would you like go home with me tonight? She really probably didn't know how old I was. I looked a little older than really what I was. And I said, I don't know. I said, yeah, go over there and ask my parents, see what they have to say.
Well, as a comedian, we don't get that kind of break. Only thing that happens for us, either if you make everybody laugh, someone may buy you a free drink, because you really made them laugh, or you get booed. So that's the only benefit that we get. Because when you get booed, that's a long walk to get behind the curtain. I mean, you start walking faster and faster. So
that would not be any fun. That's for sure. It's bad enough singing, and sometimes in so many small gigs, and it's like you look out there and like they're not even listening. It's like, hey, then you gotta step up. And usually I get out in the audience and get up on a table or something.
Right. Have you ever, or any of your members in the band, and you guys already know exactly what you're doing, And have you ever made any mistake in the performances, but nobody noticed it, and then you guys looked at each other and tried to cover it up? Have that ever happened to you guys?
That always happens. That's one thing. When you're doing a solo show, you can't cover things up as well. When you're on stage with, everyone's got each other's back, I believe, because everybody makes a mistake. I might forget the words, and sometimes I forget words and I make up something, but somehow they always rhyme, and I don't know how that happens, but they do. But when you're, that might not make sense, but half the time people don't realize. But a lot of times, it's like you forget the words and you just turn over, you guitar players take a lead, or someone forgets a lead and you come in instead, so, you're always covering each other. We want everybody to look good, that happens. Yeah, that happens a lot, I would believe. Yeah, wow. Definitely.
Now, you've been in the business for a very long time, and I'm sure you guys and yourself and the management team keep it professional. Have you gone any place in your career and the agreement was that you guys are going to get paid this amount, and then you get there, have anyone ever came to you and said, hey, look, we can't pay you now? And then if so, how do you handle that?
You know what? I really don't believe that that's happened to us. I can't recall. Of course, there were days when we played the door, but we found out quickly that you have to have someone on both sides. Your side and the bar side. Collecting the money, because that can always go wrong. Because you swear, there's, a couple hundred people there, and all of a sudden they come out and they said, this is what you're getting, and it's like, hey, wait a second, that can't be right, So we learned that pretty quickly, the bands that we did that with, we did learn that pretty quickly. But someone that's saying they're going to actually pay us a certain amount and say no, they're not going to pay us, I really haven't really had that happen. I've had it the opposite way. I've had some good clubs where I said, hey, we made extra money tonight. We're giving you more, Okay. So very good. But you have to be careful, You have to make sure.
Yes. And for those who's listening, we've been in this pandemic ever since March 2020. So when this thing open up, ladies and gentlemen, you want to book a music artist or comedian or keynote speaker or pastor, I don't care. Handle your business, pay a deposit, follow through the contract, and then I don't know about you, Gary, but when I arrive at the premises, I want the other half before the show starts.
Yeah, especially the bigger places. I guess you could do that. I haven't had that experience yet, but that's great advice.
Yes. Go ahead, Boudin. You got a couple of questions.
How long you been in the music business?
Oh gosh, to go from, I would say, a good 30-something years. Easy. Wow. Yeah. Maybe not. Yeah, 25 years, I believe. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
So did the COVID-19 slow y'all money down any?
What's that?
I say, did the COVID-19 slow down y'all money anytime?
You know what? Yeah, it definitely did. But you know what? I was so busy trying to get this album out and getting recording. In fact, the last song we recorded was a duet. Then I went down to Nashville, and the pandemic had just about started. I think it was a couple months in, and we were there's a girl who's on MTS with Michael Stover, Savannah Nider, and I wrote the song, and I wanted it to be a duet, and so me and my producer got in the car, drove down to Nashville, and we recorded it at Omni Studios. So we were still recording and getting everything, finalized on the album when this all started, and it just took me a long time to get everything pretty much put together. As far as 5 of the songs were written by other people. Tony Arata, who wrote The Dance for Garth Brooks, and Reba McEntire's niece wrote our first single. And so getting all those writers and the mechanical rights all put together. And so I did learn a lot this year, because usually I put albums out that are just my songs, but I wanted to do something different this time. It would just benefit the album, I thought, and it definitely did. So I've been working on, the album and the artwork and everything to get the album out. So really, it was beneficial to me. We played a couple gigs, but everything definitely slowed down. I mean, there was no way around that, and I do have another income, so it didn't really hurt me as much as it would hurt some of the other artists that are just playing and doing gigs. Yeah, but I put my energy in a different, someplace different. Wrote a couple other songs, so yeah.
And that's good that you kept writing and staying focused on your work and your craft and the new album. And I did the same thing, and also I had an opportunity to perform 2 virtual entertainment. The first one, they were trying to figure it out. Boudin and I, we was a part of that. It was cool, but they was not quite ready. But the second one, I learned a lot. These ladies, they did the same thing what the MJ was doing, where they had like a string, and the string was more like revolving. I think they were able to show maybe 200 people had tuned in. And so I could actually see the people, and I enjoyed it. So I say this to you, I think this virtual is going to give us a new idea, not to say that all your performances will be this way, but not a bad idea with musicians. Comedy is a little bit different. You really have to spend quality time with your imagination. But musicians, you guys can get away with it. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's going to become like a combination of, live performances and virtual. I did do a couple fundraisers for some different organizations on virtual, performances during that time. But I think it's going to change, the music industry, and, hopefully, your comedy act. I think that might be pretty cool. I mean,
I figured I came up with a couple of things by watching what other entertainment was doing. As you see, the movie theaters are closed. Some begin to open up a little bit, but everything that you put together can go on Amazon Prime. I'm sorry. It can go on Hulu. And so that's another avenue. The only thing that you have to make sure that you put a lot of quality into what you're doing. And I found out Amazon Prime will go 50-50 with you, as well as promoting it. Same thing with Hulu. And Netflix, that's a little bit different. If you don't understand how they do it, they will buy it from you, pay you whatever, and then they may not never put it on.
Well, you are definitely teaching me some.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. So that's pretty neat. But I'm just waiting on to see what's going to happen at the end of the year. I have my book out. I have my tour lined up. But I want people to be comfortable when they come out, and that's more important to me to see they're feeling comfortable, to come out to be entertained, Yeah.
Right. But I didn't know nothing about that Amazon Prime and all that. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, check it out. I mean, I'm just like everybody else trying to figure it out. And then what I did was I surrounded myself with a lot of individuals who's in the technology. Okay. And I learned a lot And what's going to happen, I know a lot of people try to jump on Facebook Live, and I got off of that because what's going to happen is the most important thing is you want to protect your content, your rights. So if you take this album and put it on Facebook Live, then there's a possibility you may have some issues, legal issues later on. Because let's say 1 million people tune in, you had a Cash App or a PayPal button, and then next thing you know, you saw the count. Well, 1 million times $1, and then come to find out some money is missing because you took your content on somebody's property without paperwork involved. So
I knew that was like that with Facebook and that. I think Mike, Mike, he Stover, I'm sure he knows all that ins and outs of that. So I do a lot on Facebook, but a lot of it's promoting as far as go here and get this and listen to this on Spotify or listen to this, iTunes or you can get my music here. I don't try to do too many things like posting a whole song on Facebook or anything like that.
Just be careful with Facebook, but LinkedIn is wide open now, more professional. They step up, they protect you. Even your inbox messages, they can catch the fraud before they won't let it go through. So like Facebook,
right? Yeah,
exactly. Great.
I had to even on YouTube, I had to get a clearance to do 2 of my songs. Actually, they were for some of these virtual shows that I was on. Because when I did those shows, instead of bringing in a whole band, we just did it with like the backtracks from the studio, and they would turn it off if you didn't have clearance on them. So I had to clear all those.
Yeah. YouTube is very protective. They got people monitoring every little step. A couple of friends of mine in Philadelphia, I don't want to give their name out, they've had their episode blocked because an old song from back in the day was played on the air. I'm like, wow. On a knock on wood, thank God, I have never had any block issue on anything. I'm just very careful what I put out there, and and then be careful where the monetization comes from. Keep that hidden. You don't have to let everybody know, but keep that part hidden, because once again, we're talking about content. That's just like saying you have, let's say I'm staying in one of your rent houses, okay, and I'm paying you rent, but all of a sudden I decide to put a trailer in the backyard without your permission. So same thing with social media, okay. Well, we're at the bottom of the hour. What we're going to do, we're all going to get our laugh on. I want everybody to stay on. And what we're going to do when we come back, we're also going to do more of history and find out a whole lot more about our guest, Gary Pratt from Pennsylvania. I'm going to say Slick. I like that. Slickville. So I'm trying to go away too far because you are on your Mike and Soul Radio talk show. We'll be right back and just stay with them and get your laugh on.
If I've learned anything in my years of studying and uplifting Black artists, it's that we all have the power to create something beautiful. That's why I'm pleased to introduce you to people who have broken down boundaries in fencing and helped to create the first ever smart store. They're a big deal, and it's time we give them our attention. iHeart-Radio is #1 for podcasts, and it's easy to see why. Listen to Your Attention Please, a Hulu podcast with iHeart-Radio on the iHeart-Radio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. It's inspired by Your Attention Please, now streaming on Hulu. Watch for a fresh point of view on Black history.
Disgraceland, a music and true crime podcast about musicians getting away with murder and behaving very badly, hosted by me, Jake Brennan, is back with Season 5. And you're not going to want to miss new episodes on Guns N' Roses, Jay-Z, Prince, Ozzy Osbourne, Nipsey Hussle, Run DMC, Selena, The Rolling Stones, and more. You can listen to Disgraceland on the iHeart-Radio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Rock-a-rolla.
Coming up at the top of the hour, right about 4 minutes after, we'll have my strawberry letter for today. The subject, I never wanted to be the other woman. But right now, the nephew in the building with today's prank phone call. What you got for us, Neff?
It's 2020, Shirley. Here it is. Love deposit. Love deposit. Love deposit.
What is
Let's
that?
go, cat down.
Hello.
Oh, I'm trying to reach Tiffany.
This is Tiffany. Who's calling?
This is Karan. How you doing?
Hi. Hey, I don't know.
You know what? I know we've been going back and forth on the site talking, and we haven't, really talked yet. So
yeah, it's okay. I just wasn't expecting a call, but yeah, it's good to hear from you. It's good to hear from you now.
We've been talking for
a long time.
Well, texting and on the site for at least 5 weeks now.
Yeah, it's been really. I'm glad you called. For real, seriously. And I love your voice. So I'm excited. Hey, what's up?
You got anything going on this weekend?
I don't think so. I just have to go grocery shopping or whatever. But other than that, I'm pretty open. What's up?
I was thinking maybe we get together, get a drink or two, just kind of hang out a little bit, feel each other out. If you're feeling that, I don't want to.
Yeah, that's cool. We can get together. I'm interested. I'm happy you called, and I would love to see you this weekend. You got a place in mind, an area?
I was thinking about letting you pick something because I'd rather go somewhere where you're comfortable, an atmosphere that you're used to. I think that would be the best thing to do.
Okay. Well, let me look. Let me find out. I'll get back to you on that. But yeah, I'm down for sure.
Just want to hang out a little bit.
Me too.
Cool,
yeah.
Cool.
I'm excited.
Good. What's good for you? If you want to do something Friday or Saturday, it's up to you.
Yeah, let's do Saturday to give me, the time to get myself together.
Okay.
6 or 7.
Text me, the location or whatever, wherever you want me to.
Okay, cool.
I'll be there.
Okay, cool.
Hey, one
cool.
more thing,
I can't wait to see you.
One more thing. Okay, let's do this first. Tell me this. What are we wearing? So I don't want to be overdressed or underdressed.
I don't really trip on that. It's first day to be chill. I'm not. We don't have to do a $500 dinner or nothing like that. You don't need on a tux. Gotcha. This ain't the Rock Nation brunch.
Yeah. All right. But if you don't mind, if I could get you to do something for me, could I give you my Cash App?
For what?
Well, what I want to do is, sometimes these things actually go wrong. I don't see it going wrong with me and you because we've had, the way we've been chit-chatting and going back and forth on the site, things have been really, really well. But, I would like to get, a love deposit of $250. That way, if this go wrong, at least I have a waste of my time. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. I'm just processing what just happened. You said you want me to get your Cash App and send you a love deposit of $200 and something.
$250. That way if this don't go right, then at least I have it's like a love deposit. If it goes right, then I give it back to you. If it don't go right, at least I haven't wasted my time. You see what I'm saying?
Are you serious right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. This is super weird, and yeah, this is weird, and I don't even really know what to say. Other than you could probably lose my number. You a weak dude. Don't call me. You're corny. I'm not interested. You're a bum. I'm straight. I don't know what else to say.
Hold on. I wasn't all that.
No,
I wasn't all that.
Really
we've been talking for 5 weeks. Everything's been good. We've been on the site talking to each other.
For 2 weeks though, you trying to ask me for a cash app for real? A love deposit? How corny are you? Are you serious? Seriously? Like,
okay,
you gotta be out of your mind.
If you believe, listen, look, Tim, on the real. If you believe in yourself, then you deposit back. You know.
If I believe in myself, get your fool ass out of here. You have lost your mind. Okay? Would you please gather your thoughts? Because I don't know who you think you're talking to for real. You know what I'm saying? So I need you to do 2 things: lose my number and don't look for me. For real, straight up. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is stupid. You're ignorant. For real, straight up.
Okay. Show me where I'm wrong. If you believe in yourself, though.
If I believe in myself, Chaz, dude, what you mean if I believe in myself? If you believe in yourself, your Chaz will move around, get off the phone, and stop wasting my time. For real. I'm about to hang up right now. For real.
Okay. Listen.
Violation of my face. Straight up.
Okay, before you hang up, Joe. Hey, you could go your way. I can go mine. You don't want to cash out me the $250. Cool. Got that.
Cash out the $250. Fucking ass, dude.
Okay, cool. Hey, it is. You know what? It is. It's this your loss, though, Tim. This your loss.
You gotta be out your rabbit ass mind. Ain't no losses here. Ain't no losses. This is a lesson.
Okay. You know what? I knew this was gonna happen. You know, when a brother try to be real, this is what happens.
Hey, you might as well. Hey, turn around, go the other direction. Lock yourself up. Seriously. You want to talk about black men and brotherhood? Like, this is a rap for you. We don't need you out here. You're useless. Straight up. Like, don't call me. Destroy yourself. For real. I'm done with it. Goodbye.
Okay. Can I tell you something else before you leave real quick?
What?
I just want to let you know that this is Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Your sister, Lachey, got me to prank phone call you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is on your mic and so radio talk show. That was the Nephew Tommy from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, and give him a love deposit before you go on the break. Now, the whole time I was listening to him, Gary, he sounded like he was from Slickville, Pennsylvania. Is that what they he sounds like he can be from Slickville, but no. I hope you guys enjoyed that. You're at the bottom now of your Mike and Soul Radio Talk Show with your host, comedian Edwin-Douglas, right along with my DJ sidekick, Uncle Ben, with our special co-host, Mr. Boudin Man, and with our guest, the one and only singer-songwriter, yes, Gary Pratt. So you enjoyed that, Gary?
Yeah, I did.
Now, don't you guys try that, okay? Don't try it.
Well, at first, I'm like listening. I'm thinking, I don't think I should be listening to this conversation. I'm like, wonder if he knows his mic's on. I'm like, is he really doing this? And then I got it. I knew what you were doing.
Oh, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the second half of the show. And before we went on the break, before I do that, for those who are tuning in for the very first time, let me explain. Your Mike and Soul Radio Talk Show is a 1-hour platform that brings in real people that's going to tell real stories to entertain your spirit and soul with music, and of course we get our laugh on, and that's what we do, and we always on demand. It's that simple. And now, back to our special guest, Gary. If you was not doing music, what would you be doing today?
Well, let's see. I have a lot of different interests. I must say that, but I'd probably just be doing. I have a floral and a gift shop that's in Pittsburgh area and does very well. So I'd probably just be in that. I'd be doing that, or I was also a therapist at one time for about 10 years.
Wow.
A recreational therapist for like geriatric patients. And I could have probably went further in that, but I just got so burned out with all the paperwork and everything like that. It just wasn't. I loved the patients and and all that, but it was just like all the political stuff that went on in this, these types of companies, with like nursing homes, etc. And it's like I love the people, but it just wasn't for me. I was ready to quit, and a company came in and took over that company. They bought them out and actually wanted to get rid of some people that were making money, and I was hoping they would pick me, and actually they did, and I got a severance pay, and I was off for about a year, so I was doing music, and then I just fell into this other business and invested in that, and so like I said, a lot of different avenues I could have went, but I never did give up music and with any of them, but yeah, it's hard to say. I would probably still be doing what I'm doing, with my business today, which is awesome. I love it. So.
Wow. Go ahead, Boudin. Get a couple of questions for me. Go ahead.
Gary, how much more longer you plan on being in the music bit? How many more years?
Till I die.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I had a feeling that's what it's all about.
What I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know what? I've had some friends that have, really given them up. I guess most of my friends that were in my, like, that I knew because I was younger when I started, and I knew a lot of older musicians, and that a lot of them have, have given it up, and I just can't, I can't see that for me. Even, some young guys, they get discouraged. They're not going to play out anymore. And, a lot of people, too, that they quit for a while and then, give it a couple of years and they're back out there again, But I don't think I'll ever quit. I mean, I'll keep writing and performing, as long as I can. And just I vowed that I'd probably do this till the day I die because, like I said, I quit that 1 year and I was awful. Like as a part of me lost, and I don't want to lose myself neither,
That's
so
it.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it. Go ahead, Buddha, and get another one.
Okay, Gary, is you a Pittsburgh Steelers fan or are you a Dallas Cowboy fan?
You asked a
Is that a trick question?
I don't think he's familiar with the fans in Pennsylvania. See, I visit, before you answer that, I'm going to let you answer that. I visit Philadelphia right before the pandemic, 2019, summer.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the most funniest thing that I ever did in Philly. But I'm going to let you answer that question. I'm going to tell you what happened. Go ahead, answer that question that Boudin asked.
I'm definitely a Steeler fan. I have to be. It's just like, that must be in my blood too. I don't know, but yeah.
I'm going to tell you what happened. I was in Philadelphia, guys, that summer. And I had no athletic gear on or anything. So I was downtown Philly catching a Uber. No, it was a Lyft, okay? And the guy was being nice. He said, "Oh, Edwin, okay." He said, "Where are you from?" And I told him. And I said, "I'm from Dallas, Texas." So he completely stopped the car, Gary. Turned around and looked at me. He said, "Please don't tell me you're a Dallas Cowboy fan. If you are, I'm putting your ass out my car right now." And I shifted gears so quick, so fast. Oh, man, I can't stand the Cowboys, man. He said, "Come on, Eddie, there's no way for you to be way up here. I'm not going to do nothing to you. Please tell me you are a Dallas Cowboy fan. And if you are, I'm putting you out." I said, "No, sir, I'm not a Cowboy fan. I don't like it. I don't like football." Because I was trying to go where I'm trying to go,
I was, yeah. I was actually going to say I don't even watch any of them, so I don't know.
And so, by me, he said, "What you do for a living?" I said, "I'm a comedian." He said, "Oh, really?" He said, "Tell me something funny." So I said, "Well, I don't like doing that, but you can go to YouTube and hear some other work." And while he was driving, he said, "Oh, you put it funny." He said, "Yeah." He said, "What you doing up here?" I said, "I'm up here visiting friends and family." So we finally get to where I'm headed. And I got out the car. I said, "Man, I appreciate the ride and everything. You put it cool." He said, then I said, "I got one more thing." I say, "Man, I lie. I said, I'm a die-hard Cowboy fan." Yes, I am.
What do you do?
And he wanted to get out the car. He said, "You know what? You're a damn good comedian." He said, "You got me real good." He said, "Very glad that you didn't answer my question. I really would have put you out of my car." And I was like, "Wow." But no, Boo Dan, you cannot ask nobody from Pennsylvania if they're going to be Philly or they're going to be Pittsburgh when it comes to football. No way.
I thought you'd think pretty quick on your feet sometimes, you know?
Well, you have to. Me as a comedian, you have to be good. I'm not gonna say great. To be good, you have to observe. Observe your audience. What I perform in Houston may not work in Philadelphia, or what I perform in Philly may not work in New York. So what I do, I observe, and then whatever current event is taking place that we all can be on the same relation, that's how I operate, because I don't want to say the wrong thing and then won't make it back to the hotel. Especially like New York, Philadelphia, you know. Those two states states got to be very careful what you talk about when they come out your mouth. I'm quick. You're right. Yeah, I'm very quick. Yes, I am. That I am.
You know what? I think it's a lot with entertainers, but in a car, I don't think I would have thought that quick. Up on stage, I can think real quick and get the audience involved, but like to be in a car and someone would say that to me, I don't know if I'd be that quick to respond.
Well, what I learned how to do now when I'm out of town. And then, you know, of course, when you do the Lyft or Uber, you see the photo. I now select women. I don't ride no car with no dude. You know, I don't want that one. No, I don't want that. That way I can feel a little safe, you know?
Maybe get a $250 deposit, too, on the way, huh?
Yeah, there you go. Maybe, you know what, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Good idea. Yeah. Now, have you ever had a bad night performing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think everyone has, you know, one or two times. I mean, go to a place and it's like nobody there, you know, that you think is going to be there, or of course, or you get somewhere and the PA system, you know, the sound system's there and they got problems going on with that. I mean, there's all kinds of things. That's one of my worst fears, is getting to a job and the PA system, there's something wrong with it, or I have a little bit of trouble sometimes trusting someone else running a board, you know, because they got all that control right in front of them, and you know, they can make you sound good or bad, but there's been, you know, everybody has a bad night, even if you're not, you know, you might have a good audience or something like that. Or sometimes, you know, you're just not as up to as sometimes, you know, that you want to be, you know, up where you want to be, and we all have bad times.
And you're correct. I mean, a lot of times. I know how to handle when we're speaking with the equipment, the mic, the soundboard. As a comedian, I'm going to whoever at the soundboard or engineer, when they mess up, Gary, they're going to be part of the show. Yes, I'm gonna make them part of the show. Everybody going to get a chance to laugh at that person who messed up. Because we had a walkthrough, we rehearsal, and that person's supposed to be prepared. Now, if it's a microphone issue, that can happen. Okay, you know.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah,
that's going to happen. But that soundboard, that's a no because you've been tested. They know what number, the volume, or they know what everything's supposed to be, unless a storm came through and the power just went out.
Yeah,
that's different.
That type of thing. Yeah, technical difficulties. I mean, I always worry about that, but once we get the show started, I'm good.
Yeah. Now on this show here, I ask all my guests, in the business, not personal, but in the business, name or tell us one of your trials and tribulations that you may have gone through that made you become a better songwriter, better singer, a better music artist. Go right ahead.
I think there's all kinds of things in life. I mean, everybody has ups and downs, of course, and I was at a dark place one time in my life, and thank God that I'm here today, and with God's help and music. I mean, music got me through that, and then I've learned to be able to deal with some dark areas in my life. My brother passed away like 3 years ago, and I try to stay close to God and my family too. I mean, it's very hard on my parents, but I mean, that brought out a lot of, I don't know if you would say wisdom, but I look back and I see so many things that are more important than, money or anything like that. But, the value of life. And I think thinking that way, like all writers and artists, we were able to sort of express ourselves a little bit better than what some people do. They know how they feel, but they don't really express it, and that's why I think music is so important, because musicians can express themselves through their music. And I think, going back to, more in my 20s, and then, I could have went down the wrong road, easy. Mm-hmm. And, by the grace of God, I didn't, and I'm here today. But those dark times, I mean, I think a lot of people do have them, even if, it might be, even if someone has depression or anything like that too. I think it makes you grow as a person, all the stuff that you go through. But as a musician, being able to express, how you feel inside, and learn from that. I just think in all musicians or artists or whatever, type of art you do, it might be even drawing or something like that. But I think that, it makes us the artists that we are, going through hard times in life and losing people, and, maybe getting out of an addiction or whatever it may be. That molds you as a person and as a musician to be able to express that. That's how we think, musician-wise and artist-wise and songwriter-wise. It makes us who we are, so we can express, what we've gone through.
All right. Well, before we let you go, tell everyone, for those who want to book you, follow you, contact you, buy any of your music, the mic is yours. Go right ahead.
All right. You can catch me on my website, of course, www.garyprattmusic.com. On that site, you'll find a lot of links to where you can buy my music: Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music. There's my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Spotify, on YouTube. Hit me up on, join my fan page on Facebook, Gary Pratt Music, Gary Pratt fan group. Also, if people want to let me know how they feel about my music, if they listen to it, hit me up on an email. I'll respond back. It's GaryPrattMusic@AOL.com. You can get my music on all the sites. My latest album came out the end of March, and the first single's out, and it's doing good. So.
Okay, all right. Anything you want to say to him or ask Boudin before we close with his music, one of his songs?
Okay. Boudin.
Go ahead, Boudin.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm there.
What I was saying, you say your brother died on you, and that made you a more better music man, or what?
Not saying that made me a better music man. It just made me get more in touch with feelings. How important life is, and it made me help me to express myself a little bit better. I look back at some of the things that he did when he was living for me, specifically, and other people, and I look back now, and it's like he was a really big guy. All right, I'm not a big guy. I'm a small guy, and he would always show up at different places when I'm singing. But looking back now, I always realize now that he always showed up at the rough places I was playing. Because he, if there was a problem, he was going to take care of it. But he was like it. He was actually younger than me and passed away. But I mean, I just see the value of life and how I can express and sort of have a story to tell now, that what's important in life and what's not. And that's what my whole album is about. It's about a lifetime, It's just, people take for granted some things that they really, and family is very important. Maybe you don't get along with someone, but it's important that you patch things up. I mean, because you don't get a second chance.
Right.
I agree.
Now, Gary, I had so much fun. I gave you my word, we're going to play one of your songs before we leave. And keep in mind, we are entertainers. When things open up, like you say, you're going to do this to the day you die. And it's been a pleasure to meet you and interview you.
Me too.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, you are on your Mike and Soul radio talk show with your host, comedian Edwin-Douglas, right along with my DJ sidekick, Uncle Ben, and of course, the one and only, the Boudin Man, as a special co-host. And you're listening to the one and only singer, songwriter from Slickville, Pennsylvania. And we're going to leave here with one of his songs here, and that's Where Does the Love Go? Until next time, peace, and may God bless you.
Thank you.
Falling in love can be so easy. Falling out of love can be so hard. Now you're telling me you're gonna leave me. The love is dead that you felt in your heart. You may change your ways and me. I guess nothing ever stays the same. I'll let you go, but before we say goodbye, tell me, where does love go when you die? I had no room for in my life. I think I should know exactly why love is dead, did you you may change your wedding jacket. I guess nothing ever stays the same. I'll let you go, but before you say goodbye, tell me, where does love go when you die? Tell me, where does love go when you die?
Thank you for joining us on Your Mic and Soul Radio Talk Show. Until next time, peace, and may God bless you.